Hello, all. This is Dr. J. Arjun and Spike coming to you streaming live from Long Island, New York, and Oakland, California. Yay, Raiders. They're not even there anymore.
Yeah, come on. It's baseball season. Let's go A's.
Yay, A's, whatever they are. Linda is with us. Dan is with us. Shalom, Dan. Hello.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.
I hope things are calm in Minnesota. They're usually not. They haven't been too calm lately, but I hope they're
not there. That's a little bit.
Yeah.
Stock Plug is with us. Kat is with us from deep in the heart of Texas. How you doing, Kat? Stock Plug, clove to the moon. I'm just happy to be even at this point on CLOV. You can take its time and get to the moon. That's fine. And who else is with us? Kamal is with us. Let's see if Kamal has any calls on the market for us.
We got some green mountains.
Are we going to continue to melt up from here? Kamal, we're in a little bit of a melt up on the S&P and the Qs. We're melting up.
Did we lose the dock?
It feels to me like it may have bottomed, or at least is turning around. At the very least, from Wednesday to Friday, we've had a little bit of a relief rally in biotech. So that's welcome. Cabinet guy is here. You know what? Let's give him a real chair.
Hello,
Dr. J, you froze. You froze again.
Hear that?
Can't hear you. Cannot hear you.
You cannot hear that.
Okay, now you're back.
Cabinet guy, I hope your hip is healing. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
I said hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray.
Oh, hip, hip, hooray. Very funny.
So we all wish you well. Hope that you're picking winners. I want you to know that I went into PSFE. Cabinet guy pointed it out to us about 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah. So I'm in PSFE, and we'll take a look at that today, along with Roblox, some Coinbase, so some of the newer names to hit the street. Yeah, you go. Guten Tag from Tampa, says Diego. ¿Cómo está, Diego? Kat says, good, Dr. J. Yeah. We got a ton of people here with us today, and I'm really surprised because it's an odd time, 11:15 on a Friday. We normally come to you at noon, but we've been kind of coming to you at odd hours lately.
Yeah, and real life's getting in the way.
I really appreciate the fact that you can adjust to our schedule.
Yeah, we got a great turnout today. Look at this.
Yes, and some new faces. Zeisman, 45, is a new face.
Welcome.
And Dan, hopefully EV isn't dead yet. Open position, hit 20.
He's just getting started. Who's not dead?
The problem with EV is the same as the problem with Biotech. It ran up too quick, too fast. Momo stocks got punished.
Yep.
Everything Kathy Wood said to buy was a sell at some point. And that's what happened.
Yep.
So just like biotech is looking like it's turning the corner, maybe EV will soon turn the corner as well. But I had to get rid of all my CCIV at 23 and change. Remember, I said I was thinking of swinging it up, but I decided to get rid of it. And Innovis also around 23, I unloaded some.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
I don't know what it's doing today.
Yeah, it's worth taking a look.
But we'll try to look at it.
Yeah.
John is with us from Florida.
John, a BCRX lover, a fellow BCRX.
Oh, Dan got rid of his TGTX at 49 free market this morning on MS data.
Oh, interesting.
Probably a good move because the rule of thumb is sell the news pre-market.
Absolutely. And so far, that is holding true. It's already back down to 45.59. Well done.
Dan knows his biotech.
Sell the news and then sell puts on the pullback. That's how we do it here.
What to do with crypto profits? Put it into Coinbase.
Or just buy
He's looking for income.
buy some blue chips with us.
No, put it into Coinbase if you want. If you want a good bet on crypto, Coinbase. I think
just buy the damn Bitcoin.
Coinbase would be the Facebook of when did Facebook go public? 10 years ago. I think 10 years from now you'll get 15 times your money on Coinbase. I would
agree.
Crypto is here to stay.
Yep.
Dr. J the Goat wishes us all well, as we do to him. And the mayor is here. The mayor has joined us. The mayor of StockTwits.
Greg. Not selling the news. This is a smart comment. I agree with this.
Greg knows his stuff.
We got a lot of bio experts on this.
Not only that, Greg knows gangster movies. He knew Mother of Mercy.
Yeah, that's true. He knows old school gangster movies.
Yes. Every small cap is getting better. The rut is not the place to be. The IWM is definitely not the place to be.
No.
The place to be is the Qs and the spiders.
Yep, the Qs for sure. I'm looking right now. S&P is up. Yeah, a lot of red today, except for Dogecoin.
Yeah, well.
I'm joking. I had to throw that one out there because I'm sure some people on here own it.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of people greeting each other, which is good. Come join our chat everywhere. Everyone knows your name. Does that sound familiar?
Everyone knows your name. And
that was from
educated.
That was from Cheers, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so Dr. J the Goat, what is he up to?
He's saying the GSI's been killed.
GHSI amongst every other biotech, not just GHSI. Yes, Greg, technology, but not biotechnology. We have to cross out the BIO prefix and we're okay.
Yeah, people need to be careful scaling back into bio. Don't go in too hard.
Yeah, what did somebody say a couple of days ago? That they bought what they thought was a dip until it dipped more?
I sold a lot of names that I really liked. I really trimmed severely. I no longer own SAVA. I was in MBOT for a short while, but we can chart them, put them on the list.
Yeah, I know. I have it on the list because we have to do those plays.
Yeah. We got some people missing Jake. Where is Jake? Is he still
Jake
somewhere?
Is back in Austin, Texas.
He's a busy man. Unlike me. Clearly, I'm not busy.
The problem with Jake is he says, I'm making money in my business. Why do I need to gamble on BioRec?
Meanwhile, I'm gambling on BioTrek so that I can try to start a business and quit my day job.
Jake is doing good.
Nice. Can we chart? Let's get to the charts.
Jake will be on and give us a few losers, not to worry.
Whoa, those are fighting words.
Yeah, that'll get him on the show.
That's the sting for a couple of ones.
Wow.
That'll get him on the show.
You know,
Disney.
Dr. J, what are you denigrating my picks for? Well, only because I lost money on them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you call a spade. I get it.
Look, nobody's perfect. Hey. And in this market, if you're a biotech trader, it's really hard to come up with winners.
Besides, we should be doing our own due diligence, just like everyone else does.
Yes,
Absolutely, and that's the rule of thumb. Do your own due diligence. Never listen to anybody else. Our opinions are strictly our own and do not constitute investment advice. And you should check with your professional advisor before losing money, before betting, before placing an investment, any investments. I've had we all had a tremendous start of the year. Fifth week of the year, I was up as much as 60, 70% in some of my portfolios. And I'm sad to say that I've given at least half back, and in some cases 60%. So the great year is still it's become a good year, but it's still, conservation of profits are important. That's how I've been playing it. Linda wants to know, will BCRX stay a winner? I was talking to Arjun and Professor Spike before the show, and we all kind of think that a little pullback is probably likely. But in the long run, in the short run, in the middle run, it's probably going to be a winner. But very short term, I think a pullback is likely.
Yep. When we chart it, I have a lot to say about what I think is going to happen in the next couple months, so I'm happy to share.
I think we're
Dan kind of agrees. He cut his position in BCRX, but still it's sizable. And considering what it was, I'm sure it's bigger than most of ours.
I think we learned a lot from that R&D pony show day, and that's a cautionary tale going forward.
Yeah. No, I think it portends well, that R&D pony show, because
absolutely. But I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is when there is a set date on the schedule building up anticipation, you want to plan that as a day to hedge or sell the news a little bit. And I think earnings is going to be that next date.
Arjun and I both made money on our BCRX, writing BCRX puts. Arjun wrote 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, 13. I don't know.
I wrote them all. You name it, I wrote it.
I just wrote the 11s, and I made my money. 100% profit. Whatever they gave me, they gave me.
And it looks like you won't need to exercise those either, so you're good.
I did at some point lose a little confidence, and I wrote a few calls at $10 strike. I got 55 cents, so I wound up losing on those calls. I just sold the stock basically at $10.55.
Losing, I don't count that as a loss. That's just a hedge.
Really, all it means is I sold the stock at $10.55.
Exactly, which ain't too bad of a thing when you own all of the stuff you own.
Yeah, all right, all the junk I own, right? But I went through with Arjun and Professor Spike my top 10 holdings in my biggest portfolio. I have about 4 or 5 portfolios, but my biggest one, I can read it if you're interested. Read it to everybody.
Yeah, everybody's
we'll read it and then we'll chart. Gotta get the charts.
These are my top 10 holdings in my largest portfolio. It's not including Athesis, which is in another portfolio, which is also a very large holding of mine.
The drag portfolio.
Yeah.
That's the one for the future, the dry powder.
Yeah. This portfolio for the day right now is basically flat.
Being flat on a day like today is not that bad of a thing.
I know. I'm not seeing any green for myself.
Yeah, I want to put it in order according to value.
I think I even memorized it. It was like Walmart, Amazon.
My biggest holding. Should I start from the 10th or go up to the 1st, like they do in? I'm going to start with number 10. My 10th biggest holding in this portfolio is SONY, SNE, Sony.
Sony.
I only bought it a couple of months ago. Remember, I looked at the chart and I said it's going up to at least 110. And I think let's see where it is now. It's down $1.60 on the day and it's 111.17. So I hit my target of 110. I could go out if I want to because I did hit my target, but I still like it. So my ninth biggest holding is Google, GOOG.
Everybody's invaded.
Yeah, we lost. I think we lost everyone for a moment. I don't know what happened, but Google is number 9, and number 8. By the way, I have a profit on all 10 of these. Nice profit on all of them. These are my top 10 holdings, all of which I'm in with a profit. BioCris is number 8. BioCris, number 8. And Eli Lilly is number 7. And American Water is number 6. Number 5 is Dermatech. Number 4 is DraftKings. Number 3 is Apple. Number 2 is Walmart. And number 1, numero uno, is Amazon. So I'm in with some quality. The only ones I'm sort of gambling on the big money is BioCris, Dermatech, and DraftKings.
Right.
I mean, those are my most speculative plays. Now, I have many other stocks, but the top 10 are the ones I just read to you. All right, so I just wanted to do that for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason was, but
Well, because everybody's interested. That's what the show's all about. Follow.
yeah,
If you don't,
I'm for transparency, so I want to be as transparent as
Oh,
possible.
absolutely. But I do think we should chart. It's been 20 minutes. Let's give them the charts.
Yes.
Gotta get rid of Dan's price.
Hopefully the StreamYard doesn't give you any issues.
We're gonna hedge right now.
It's been giving us issues all morning.
Yeah, well, absolute worst case, I can put on my best Dr. J impression and draw a bunch of arbitrary lines on pieces of.
That's assuming it likes you.
You don't.
Oh, make sure you get the comment off.
I own Tesla, but it's not in my top 10. You know why not? Because not everything can be in the top 10. Only the top 10 can be in the top 10.
Not everybody can be above average.
It could be number 11. Could be number 30.
Tesla is one of my stocks that I like a lot. All right. Maybe it should be. If that's what you're trying to say, maybe you're right. I guess that's what you're implying, why it should be in my top 10. Probably right. But then what do I take out? I like all of them, right? Okay, let's look first at the overall market. The S&P is up fractionally 0.15%, 6 points. The Dow is up a third of 1%, 113 points. But the NASDAQ is down. The composite is down fractionally 19 points or 0.14%. And the RUT is down, the biggest loser of them all, down no, it's not the biggest loser. It's a small loser, down 0.02, or basically flat on the day. Even. So the biggest loser today is NASDAQ. And that's not terrible, only down 0.14%. So the day is essentially a flat day so far. And let's start off the show with what we've been starting off the show with all along.
Yep.
John Stonehouse's company, I guess
Johnny.
it's a company.
Well, yesterday was a fantastic day for my
Yes,
portfolio.
it was a gift. Thank you very much, John, for lining out our pockets. Those who had put options, those put options, did very nicely. Thank you very much. It was a gift yesterday.
As long as you were selling them.
Yes, as long as you wrote them and you weren't long, I mean short, whatever you want to call it. In any event, I suspected it would be a give back day today, and so far it is doing just that.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Japanese news was good news, but not great. I mean, you could argue it was great. It was nice pricing, but it was still only, I would say, categorize it as good, not great. It wasn't superb news. Superb news would be, I don't know, what would you call superb news?
Superb news would be a revenue call where they beat expectations or increase guidance big time. That, to me, it's either that or a factor D phase 3 readout. Until then, it's all just you move up, you move down. I don't know.
Well, we're not in phase 3 yet, are we?
We're not, but I guess what I'm saying is the way to reprice a stock like this, it has to be proving that they're beating expectations on Orladeo sales, or factor D phase 3 readout is excellent and they're going to get approval. Otherwise, like, the stock is what the stock is. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, otherwise, you could look for a double on a takeout.
Right.
Sure, of course, but I mean, anyone who wants to time that, good luck.
No, it's a question.
The timing, it's a question of waiting.
I think,
of course. I mean, I have all the time. Yeah.
With Stonehouse, I think it's just a question of when, not if.
Yeah, I agree with you that the R&D presentation screamed, "We are for sale."
Of all the stocks I own, certainly the top 10 on my list, this is the one most likely to be bought. And
yeah.
Of all the biotechs I own, I think this is the most likely to be bought.
Yeah. Well, what I will say is, for those of you with large positions here that you're trying to protect, remember what happened on R&D Day. I think there's potential that when they announce that earnings call for Q1, I know that I will personally be hedging in a similar way that I did on R&D Day. So that's my 2 cents. I don't have any clue what the Q1 earnings call is going to be about or say, or what the actual outcome of it'll be, but I know that I'm playing at both sides just to be safe.
Well, how did you play the R&D Day?
The R&D Day, I sold a decent chunk pre-market with you guys, and then on the way up, I was selling a lot of covered calls, but I held the vast majority of my shares.
All right, so it was strictly a hedge.
Strictly a hedge. I don't think you need to get anything close to liquidating, because I love this long, but I do think it's prudent to hedge on. There will be a run up to earnings, is my prediction, and hedge on that run up is my.
Around when is the next earnings report?
So my prediction is they're going to do the exact same thing they did with R&D Day. They're going to pick the Monday after May options expire. That's not confirmed, but just knowing the way they've been playing these things, I would guess it's either the 17th or 24th, probably.
I think it's the options expiration is the 21st, I think.
No, for May, it's Friday is the 14th. So I think
no,
it's
it can't be the 14th. It's got to be the third Friday.
Sure, the 21st then. Sure, whatever the Monday after that is, I think.
So it's the 21st. Yeah.
Right.
So the Monday after that would be the 24th.
I do think that what's nice is we're going to get the EU approval sometime between then and earnings, and I think that will help. I mean, it's not going to be an earth-shattering move, but I think it'll help get us back somewhat close to where we were before the R&D sell-off.
Well, EU approval will cause a spike pre-market, and then it'll come back down during the day.
Probably, yeah. And the question is, will that spike then start a uptrend into earnings? And then if so, I think the time to be hedging is on that run up to earnings.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But,
so there's still a lot of strategies to use if you're playing BCRX, is what Arjun is really saying.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just leave your shares and forget about it. You probably should be proactive in protecting the value of your shares.
Yeah, I think that's prudent.
That's the bottom line here.
Yeah. The chart's starting to look nice. It bounced off the support at the 50-day. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Here's one that I'm not liking what I'm seeing. It wasn't on my list. CTXR, should I do it?
Yes, do it.
It's turning out to be a yucky poo. The good news is it was a lot worse earlier in the day. The bad news is we're still down 4.5 pennies or 2.63%. We gapped down at the old, and it's
What's that low? What's that low from early March with that big tail?
The March 5th low, it better hold.
Yeah.
That's all I can say here.
I'm not touching it until I see that hold.
I sold a small fraction of my shares yesterday.
Then the 100-day is the thing that needs to hold after that, and then it gets ugly.
I've been doing more selling than buying during the week. I cleared out my GM. I cleared out my CCIV. I sold some of my Innovis. I don't remember what else I sold, but I did a lot of house cleaning.
Yeah.
Because the market dictated it to me, so you got to listen.
Agreed. Yeah, bio has not recovered yet, so tread carefully.
Although we see this chart and we cringe because you kind of figure it's coming down to at least 100 at 146. It's almost a safe bet that it's going to hit the 146 area, another 20 cents, which would be a killer, more than 10% further. I think is very likely at this point. So
if it bounces there and stabilizes, I'll be scaling in slowly, I think.
Yeah. I mean, long term, it looks quite good, but short term, it looks like a yucky poo. Let's take a look at the IBB, which turned it around for a couple of days, and today ran out of steam.
Right.
I mean, the 50-day on a lot of these charts is just acting as, I think, resistance is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, you have the 50. Looks like the 50 is in danger of crossing with the 100 here.
Yeah.
A negative cross, which we don't like. And also, it looks like the 50 is acting as resistance on this chart.
Right, but you do have that nice support with the 200. That's
the 200. The 200-day has 4 touches on it on the IBB, so
that makes me happy.
It is solid support, but look at the number. It's around 146, so it's a considerable drop from where we are now. So it would be a 7-point drop or about 5%.
Yeah, I mean, what you would love to see is the 9-day bounce rather than.
You want to see the 9-day hold at this point.
Yeah.
So, it looks like further weakness could very well be the case, and we could see another dip down to the 200. It wouldn't shock me at all. In fact, I suspect that's what will happen.
The 200, not the 9.
The 200, another test of the 200.
Maybe.
Dr. J, could you look at STPK since you're right there?
STPK, sure.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Easy
Because it
click.
looks it's getting clobbered today.
Yeah, it's finally crossed that support line, which was the 100, right?
Yeah,
Crossed the 100.
this did the opposite of what I expected,
So at
honestly.
this point, it looks like just saying sayonara, goodbye. I'll see you. I'll revisit you if you hold. If you hold the low of March 5th, $20.22.
Right.
It's time to get back in right around that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, yeah, it looks, I mean, the chart's telling you it's going lower. You want to stay in it, you stay in it. I don't remember if I'm still in it or not. I've been in and out of this one so much, so often, and lost money every time. So
Well, I'm only laughing because I sympathize.
yeah, this is one that maybe in the long run, if Jake is bullish, and maybe in the long run, if you have the patience to hold it, it'll work out. But
Yeah.
from the chart, it doesn't look too good. All right. What else would you want me to look at?
You could do Churchill now, and then we.
Churchill. We're getting some.
Another one that I have to admit I lost money on.
We're actually getting no requests. People, if you want to see a chart, please type it in. We will chart it.
I sold. Well, we got a chart on we got a request for MOT and one other one from Dr. J to go. He wants MOT and something, MBOT and one other one.
Okay.
But this one went below 20 today, bounced back, but it's still in no man's land, trading below the 100. Don't like it.
Yuck.
Don't like it. I mean, it's basically a catch a falling knife situation. So you want to try to knife. Hopefully, it isn't too sharp, and if you catch it just right, you can make some money on a turnaround. But it may go down. It looks like it's going to go down more before it turns around. So I would rather play it. Wait for the turnaround above. Wait for it to go back above the 100. There's plenty of time to get back in, even if you got to pay a few bucks more. That's how I see this one. I'd rather not be in it at this point. I sold all at 23 and change during the week. At a loss, not at a gain. What else?
Well, you wanted to do all the Bitcoin stuff today and play safe. So we should do that now since we're at the crux of the show.
Yeah. I have to admit, I took a flyer on a little of this Coinbase. I think Coinbase is over the next 10 years will be the Facebook of 10 years ago. So you buy it now, you might suffer a pullback, but so what? The volume, it's hard to even look at this chart. The volume and the candlesticks are colliding. It's hard to look at. But I'm trying to look at it. It's only trading a few days. What's happening today is it's forming a bullish harami. You know, my feeling is you average in on a stock like this. Facebook, if you remember, when it went public, it got hammered. I think it went, I don't remember the number that it went public at, maybe $40, $30, but it went down to as low as the low teens, I believe. And that's when I got in, but I didn't stay in long enough, unfortunately. So I think a similar thing could happen to Coinbase. But I think crypto is here to stay, and Coinbase is a way to play it. So that's my opinion. in chart or no chart, but the chart is right now looking okay to me. I know
Yeah.
it's only 3 days, but you have a little bullish rally forming today.
I want to look at what the market cap is on this.
Must be about, I'm going to guess, 60
The what?
billion.
Oh wow, 86 billion. Actually,
I'm
90,
At
off
one
by
point, it was like
20
$1
billion.
billion. Crazy.
90 billion. I mean, but I buy it. I mean, I think, yeah, I agree. I like this long a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to be a $900 billion stock, so maybe I take it back about the 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's you're only going to get 5 times your money as it moves up to 450 billion. But don't forget, if you average in, you're going to average. If it drops to a $60 billion market cap, you're going to be buying at lower numbers. That's why I say you got to average into this one. It's a long-term play. It's not a short-term play. I think it's definitely a stock for your portfolio to just hold. A PSFE is net teller, right?
Yeah.
See if that shows anything more. It's been around a little bit longer.
Hmm.
When did this go public?
Recently, I think.
Yeah, I think isn't this still a SPAC or no?
Was it a SPAC?
I believe
Must
so.
have been a SPAC. So I'm saying that $10 number must have been a SPAC.
Yeah.
So it probably went public through a SPAC. I think it's only changed its name a few days.
Right.
1369 down 30 cents. It had a nasty fall from grace, so to speak, from all the way up here. Let's see where I can't see the top of this candle, but I'll just guess. We're looking at $19 on 122. So it's not that nasty. It's a bit of a fall. Let me see if I pull it down a little bit. Yeah, $19. And we had a high, recent high. We have a sequence of lower highs. The last lower high was 17 and a quarter. That's the one that it had a zoom channel going down. It took the escalator down.
Right.
Nasty fall, and it was basically in a narrow channel. Something like that. So there we go with the truth behind PSFE. It's been a miserable stock to own since January, but it's very possible that we've seen the bottom on 413. If we've seen the bottom on 413, then this little pullback is a welcome pullback, and we should be buying. I think we should be buying this one, even though it's had a horrible chart and it hasn't really proven that it's turned around yet. It's still a good spec. Net teller is widely used around the globe. I know I never used it, but I know it's been used by a lot of these offshore betting accounts.
Right. And there was even mention that that DraftKings might use it too somewhere.
Yeah. DraftKings could use that tunnel. I don't know what other purposes it has, but I'm sure they have also a pretty big market cap, right? What's the market cap on this guy? Oh, probably over $1 billion.
Yeah. Looking now. I think it is. Yeah, it's almost 10 billion.
Wow.
Wow.
These companies are monsters. Monster companies. We look at the weekly, we get a good idea of where we are relative to past performance. And one thing I like is on the weekly is where we are at the low of this week compared to the middle of the screen. Let's do this line right in here. The recent low on the weekly. What I do? I don't want a line. I don't want a line. All right, I'll take the line. I really wanted a horizontal line. Close enough. So this is really the middle of this green candle, which is monster candle. When net teller really made a pop, it was hatched from 10 to 12, from 10 to where to go to a high of 15. So it popped on in this during the week of 12/6, and the middle of that green candle was support on the last sell-off, 228. So I'm thinking that we came pretty close to that same low, and the weekly kind of suggests that it might be a very nice place to enter. So I'm happy with my purchase. Of course, I purchased it below where it is now, so maybe that's why I'm happy with it. But I'm also happy in terms of the chart. What other new ones that I write? I wrote
RBLX. Is that the same?
Roblox. I think this is another one that you kind of have to own. In my world, of the kids I know, my 5 grandchildren, they all have Roblox accounts, and you can't get them off the doggone game. It's like addicting.
He's still on the weekly. I think that's what's going on there.
That's change. But it popped during the week and pulled back a little, looking at the weekly.
Quadruplets. Wow.
Yeah, so today's candle looks like it's forming a little bit of a bearish around it. But all in all, it's trending up. And it had a super day Tuesday, where it went from 73 to 83 in a single day, 10-point move from low to high. Very nice move, and we're trading within that body of that candle at this point.
You're right.
So we're at the 9-day for support. From the chart, it looks good. From everything I know about the fanaticism of kids towards this game, I think it's going to be around a long time. I don't think it's just a fad game. So I wouldn't be afraid to buy a little. Not a lot, but a little. Buy a little.
Right, nibble.
I'm thinking of actually buying it for my grandkids because they're all into it. I haven't done it yet. I wanted to do it when it was 70, but until I get around to it, it'll be 100.
This would be a good time to talk about MBOT.
Okay. What was the other one that he mentioned?
SAVA.
SAVA, yeah. Well, both of them are bio, and both of them have been killed, right? Why is everything so blown up? I'm trying to.
Are you still you're not still on weekly.
I'm in the daily. It's just that it's so blown up.
Oh.
I'm trying to get it, closer together. There we go. Now it looks more like a chart, normal looking chart. Maybe one more. There we go. Okay. This is a yucky poo.
It really, yeah, it's got a downward trend. It doesn't seem to be stopping.
I think I looked at this last week and said it was a yucky poo, or 2 weeks ago. Every time I look at this, I say yucky poo. The only good news is we're getting towards support below this. You got to go way back, but we're getting there. This is not a good chart. It's a good chart if you're short. It's not a very good chart if you're long. That's for sure. The bottom where I would have liked for it to stop is right here. This line, and actually it came close. You see the middle of this green candle and the bottom of the red candle the next day. So it came pretty close to stopping there. This is critical. If it goes below pretty much if it stops here, turns around and closes above, let's say the low of this day, 750. I want to see it close above 750. Then it might be worth gambling because you could play it as a swing. 666 is the absolute bottom. The devil made me do it.
Devil's swing. I love it.
Yeah, so this could be a devil's swing. You buy it at 750 if it gets there, 755. Let's say 766. You buy it at 766. We're to stop at 666, and pick a number to get out. So if you like the fundamentals on this one, I'd be buying if it closes above the 750 mark. At this level, it looks to me like it might be heading right to that 666. Okay, what else?
Innovis and SAVA.
Oh yeah, definitely SAVA.
SAVA I got out of a while ago.
Yeah, me too.
It's been bleeding out.
SAVA I got out of.
I haven't looked at it today, but last I checked, it looked pretty ugly from a short-term perspective.
Yeah, all the AD drug stocks were getting hurt. 34.98.
Okay.
Fractionally.
Actually,
it's just at support where I drew the line.
Yeah.
So if you want to try this is a place to try it.
I might put in some limit buys and just see what hits. Just small nibbles.
Yeah, it might fill this gap at 1982, $20. It could be heading to $20 if it closes below 32.06. So 32 would be your stop loss, has to be, because it's too risky to stay in it.
Right.
Below that. And you could play it to go all the way back to pick a number, 60. So, yeah, I mean, SAVA has potential to go turn around and zoom up on any kind of good news. It's in the right sector of biotech. I believe AD drugs will rule this year. Right now we're in a slump. So how much longer the slump lasts, I'm not sure. You could also find support at the 100. It doesn't have to go all the way back to fill the gap. But still, it's too scary to own if it goes below 3206. So if you want to swing it, you could take a 3-point loss, or about a 10% loss, looking for a 20 or 30% gain. It would be a long-term swing trade, I have a feeling. Wouldn't be your typical 3 to 5 days.
You got to go
Maybe 3 to 5 weeks. All right,
a Novus, just to see what his cousin is doing. I'm gonna have to beg out after that. So if you want to take
yeah, I can stick around for however long. It's a pretty slow Friday for me.
All right. A Novus is like a poster child for a perfect downward move, for a great short. One of the best shorts I've seen. And I've been long, didn't get out until recently. I still in it. I decreased my position. It just goes lower every day. So it's dreadfully depressing stock to own. And you get this constant loss in the portfolio every day. But the good news is we're approaching what looks like absolute support right in here at $20. So the bet is that $20 holds, and you could almost gamble. Why buy it here? Because it looks like it's going to get close to that $20. Double bottom.
Yeah.
You're gambling on a double bottom on a Novus, and the upside is unlimited on this one. So you want to take a gamble? Maybe it's not a bad one.
Yeah.
I could easily buy some at 20 and a half. I shed a lot of shares up at around 24, something like that. When were we on Tuesday? I was thinking of buying some, but instead I sold. I said if I was smart, I would sell it. Remember Dr. Spike? So I did. So I listened to my smart self. 413, when it went below the 50, I said it was a time to probably sell. And I decided to do just that. So I sold some shares. Not enough. I wish I would have sold all my position, but I didn't. All right, what's next?
I think that we got a request for, let's see, Palantir, PLTR.
Palantir, another Kathy Wood stuff. She loves this one. I did love it. I don't know what it is. I haven't spoken to her lately. Palantir Technologies Inc. 2277 down. Yucky poop. It tried to rally and hit the 100 and failed. This one looks dreadful right now. It looks like it's going to either retest this low or at least test these lows here. Let me draw the line. And one more line that's got to be drawn here. The trend is clearly down. And in a strong market, so it's not looking good to me. Probably good long term, but not short term. So we're looking at 21 for support, and below that we're looking at $20.18. So that's the area of support. I believe it's heading down there. You want to pick up shares, wait if you want to pick up shares. And it might be a good idea to pick up shares. I respect Kathy Wood. Just because the stock is in a downtrend now doesn't mean it's not going to go back up. So again, I haven't followed her that closely to know whether she's still gung ho Palantir or not. What else?
I'm reading through this. Have you done LCTX?
Linear Cell Technology Inc. I've been in this one. It's out of it, in it, out of it, in it. Out of it now, but I've been in it so many times. I'm not totally out of it, but I'm basically out of it. I love the fact that it touched the 100 and bounced.
Yeah.
So this looks like a nice opportunity to go back in if you did like me and sold. So
Yeah.
it's still on an upward trend.
Right.
The 100 is the trend line. We have a series of lows that are all higher lows. I believe even though today's low is higher, let's take a look. This low is 210. What was the low of today? Low of today is 218. So we have higher lows, and the trend line the 100 is serving as a trend line. It's looking like an opportunity if you want to own this one to own it now. And if you just want to swing it, just swing it now. Everything is set up for you. You crosses below the 100, you're out. You might swing it all the way back to the 265 level. So what the hey? It's not a bad swing. The only thing that makes it a bad swing, it's Biotech. If you want to just stay away because it's Biotech, I don't blame you. But the chart is set up for a swing, positively set up.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Scrolling through here, I think we got a request for PLX.
PLX we haven't done in a long time.
Apparently there's a PDUFA in about 11 days, courtesy of John. Thanks, John.
Okay. It's running due to this PDUFA. It's bucking the Biotech downtrend, so it's been in an uptrend. Took out recent highs of 544, and now it's up there at 602, going up almost every day. Going back to February, we had a high of 702. So this still might run up to PDUFA. And if the PDUFA vote is positive and this thing gets approved, you're probably looking at, it's hard to judge, but you're probably looking at more than 702. So, yeah, this might be a good one to fool around with. PLX. PDUFA in 11 days? Very interesting. I don't even care what the fundamentals are, do you? PDUFA in 11 days, buy it, hold it, hope for approval, get the approval, sell it pre-market. Maybe you should look at the fundamentals a little bit to see what the odds of approval seem to be.
Yeah.
Look at the fundamentals a bit before deciding. But it's the kind of stock we like to be in.
Yeah, definitely. And at the very least, you can ride it up and then hedge on the day before or whatever.
Yeah. Or just take your profits the day before.
Exactly.
It's already had a run. Will it continue to run? That's another question. All right, what else?
There's really not a whole lot of requests today.
I had a bunch that I wrote down. Let me take a look. I want to make sure I hit them. I didn't advertise the show too much, but I tweeted 3 times, and I just want to see what I tweeted. I want to make sure I covered what I tweeted. Coin, PSFE, Roblox, CCIV, Tesla, and XPEV, CVM, and Athesis. So that's it. Tesla, XPEV, CVM, and Athesis. We can take a real quick look. We haven't talked, that's not Tesla. We haven't talked EV too much, only with CSIV. And CSIV got killed. Does that imply they all got killed? Well, not Tesla. Tesla didn't get killed. It's down from its recent high on Wednesday, which was close. I can't tell. It's not showing me. That's strange when it doesn't show it. Its high was 780. Now it's 733. I tell you, you can buy a couple of shares of Tesla every day and probably not go wrong. If you buy 2, 3, 4, 5 a day and just average in over a long period of time, I think you're going to be fine on Tesla. I'm thinking it's $1,000, which is still, if you average at 700, let's say there's some pullback. If you average at 700, I think you could make 50% on your money within a year or two. Probably within a year.
Yeah.
To get to 2. This thing is a rocket ship. Everyone I know who wants to buy EV says, I'm buying a Tesla. My next car is a Tesla. Whether they're rich, poor, or otherwise, my next car is a Tesla.
Yeah.
And now there's enough models that you can accommodate everybody.
Easily. Yeah. I'm the same thing here. Yeah. My friends, literally 100% of the ones buying EV, they all bought Tesla.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This is the #1 EV maker. And as #1, as I said before, it's catch me if you can. CCIV may emerge as #2, and that's why you got to keep an eye on that one. Maybe look to accumulate at lower levels on CCIV.
Right.
But Tesla, you can just buy with your eyes closed. Buy it today, buy it tomorrow, buy it the next day, and not worry too much about it, because even if it pulls back to 500, it's still going to 1,000. So I'm really not. I'm really a Tesla fan. I should own more of it. I'll probably be listening to my own advice and nibbling almost on a daily basis. What else did I say? XPEV, Chinese car maker.
Yeah, might as well when we're on that topic.
Oh, this one's in free fall. Lovely.
Oh, yeah, if it breaks that low from, this, you don't want to enter now, it looks
We're
like.
in free fall. If it breaks 30, it's forget about it.
Yeah, today is very important that it doesn't go below there.
This low is very important low. It looks like about 30. I can't tell.
Did it already touch that low today? Wait, 29.95. What's the low from today?
I don't know.
Take a look.
Yep. It looks like it's above that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's above it. It's okay,
30, 35. Good. I tell you, my line in the sand on this one is 30.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
I would think if you want to play this one for a swing, you could play it, buy it now. Goes to 29.75, you're out. Take a small hit, of $1.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, you're in for a nice V-shaped rebound, perhaps.
Yep.
These EV car makers are going to get hot. The
Yeah,
question is,
because
the odds are that you're going to lose the bet, but if you win the bet, you're going to get big odds.
absolutely true.
So it looks like the odds are saying you're going to lose, but let's say you're 2 to 1, 2 to 1 you're going to lose, but you're going to get 5 to 1. I like those bets. In other words, you're going to win 1 out of 3 and get 5 to 1. Those kind of bets I like. You take the small hit, big deal. And if you catch it right, you really can multiply your money. I mean, 40 bucks, like easy, right, on this one. If it recovers, it's going to 40. So 30 will get you 40. It'll get you 33.33% gain versus versus 3% loss or something. 30 to 20. Yeah, it's versus a very small loss. I like that. You're playing the odds, Chances are you're going to lose, but if you win big.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. If you have a stop below 30, the downside is basically nothing. So I agree with the strategy.
Yeah, it's a good gamble from a gambling point of view.
Absolutely.
Even though you're a favorite of losing, big deal. So you lose. You're going to lose a lot. You're gonna lose a lot of bets like this, but when you win, you're gonna win big.
Well, as long as you are very diligent about cutting at the price you say you will, I don't think that.
Well, you have to put in a hard stop loss, so you don't have the option of not selling.
Exactly, the 29 whatever, 29.50, 29.75.
Yeah, you gotta put it in as a hard stop loss and hope the MMs don't come and get you.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do people want? WKHS.
Workhorse. We'll postpone that a second.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Athersis. Your 55-year hold or however long you've had this.
It's down in the dumps again, and every time it gets down in the dumps, and I feel like puking, it usually does something to pop again. So this is a crazy stock. It could go down a little lower to the recent low. Could retest. It could easily retest the lows at about 153, something like that. But on the other hand, you don't have that much downside, and you have a lot of upside potential. You can ride it back up to $2 or $1.98 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you could look to swing this one as well. I don't like it. I don't love it. It's in a yucky poo downtrend, and I'm not happy with the shares that the fact that I own a lot of shares of this and I haven't sold more, but I did sell a lot. It's not a place to be. Well, I'm very confused about I'm very confused about this stock because long term, at least a year out, I think it's going to be could be trading considerably higher than where it is now. But short term, it looks like it could easily be at that point, retest that low 150s. So.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's the story with a lot of.
Yeah, it's a story with a lot of these hopeful biotechs.
Yeah, because really what you're at the mercy of the indices in the short term. Obviously, there's a lot of long-term value, but like I think you mentioned this the other day, like in an ideal world where you were just starting from scratch, you wouldn't be buying any bios right now. You'd wait. So
Right. And therefore, the right thing to do in many cases is to sell a lot of these broken charts.
right, like get rid of your small cap speculative bios, hold on to the large. I mean, BCRX is an exception because it seems to have broken out a little, but yeah, there's a lot of trimming that you can do to rotate back into some.
And as far as ATHX goes, if you have a large position like me, I think if you want to trim a little, okay, but not too much, because I think you've been in it. If you've been in it for a long time like me, stay in it, because I think eventually the patience will pay off. That's my feeling. Of course, my opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice, etc. What was the other one?
Workhorse.
Workhorse. Another yucky poo chart of an EV truck maker whose deal with the post office went sour, and it's got a succession of lower lows and lower highs. And the only good thing about it now is it turned in a nice candle today, which again, the automakers at some point, just like my remark on XCAV, the automakers at some point they're going to turn around. EV will get hot again. It's not dead. So you want to gamble that it's going to get hot tomorrow, then you go into some of these like Workhorse. I don't know what caused it to pop and go contrary to the rest of the EV makers, which seem to be down today. But it has popped, although it's still following its negative trend line down. So would I rush to get into this? Probably not. I wouldn't rush to get into any biotech or EV play just now, including Workhorse, based on this one candle.
Yeah.
It's a nice candle, but I'd want to see another candle tomorrow that takes me higher, above the trend line.
Follow through, yeah.
I'm looking for confirmation. So I want one more candle above that trend line. And then it's worth a gamble. Then it shows something's up. And in particular, if it takes out this high, it's got to take out a high.
Yeah, that 50. Basically, if it goes to 15, you're excited. Yeah.
Take out the high of 4.1, and yeah, then I'm really interested.
Because yeah, I mean that gap. What did it? Yeah, it fell from like 33 to whatever that is.
Yeah, you're right. 15 seems to be a key level. You want to take out 15.
Then it can really run.
Yes, and it could really run. It's a nice candle today, and it's a little relief for all those who have been sitting and losing with Workhorse on a daily basis, watching it drag their portfolio down. I know the feeling. And it's a relief today to get that big green candle. But that's all it may be. It just may be a relief rally, along with, a lot of stocks have been having these little relief rallies, dead cat bounces, whatever you want to call them. So I'm not convinced yet. Is that it for today?
Yeah, we've given him an hour 15, I think. Well, everyone's saying more, but I gotta go.
More, give me more pork sausages, ma.
Or for the more contemporary, more meatloaf, ma.
More meatloaf.
Wedding crashers.
Yeah. Let's see what some people are saying.
There's a lot of chit chat about. Oh yeah, VBIV, man. VBIV, if I'll just put my 2 cents here. If you're long, there's a lot of fundamentals to love here. If you are trying to enter, just scale in slowly. Bio is not looking good. So
one more comment that will flash on the screen just to think about. There's another PDUFA date coming up. on the 29th of April for ARDX. We didn't look at the chart, but I'm sure it's an interesting one. So along with PLX, it's ARDX for Purdue.
ARDX, yeah, I just looked. It's a very intriguing chart.
Well, I'm not going to go back and chart it because it's the end of the show.
Yep.
But what did Pete say? Pete said something. Where's the beef? It's his commercial.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's a old Wendy's commercial. Where's the beef?
I love Wendy's.
I do too.
They're
Adios,
spicy.
amigos. Annyeong, sayonara, au revoir, arrivederci, shalom. See ya. Hasta
See ya.
la próxima semana.
Until next week.
Something like that.
All right.
Ciao.
Have a good weekend.